If you spoke to your closest friend the way you speak to yourself on a hard day, would she feel safe and comforted with you, or would she slowly try to get away? For so many mid-season women, the harshest voice in their life isn't a boss, a partner, or a parent. It's the one in their own head. If you've ever thought, I'm so kind and patient with everyone else, but I'm way too harsh with myself, this episode is for you. Welcome to Rooted Insights, a podcast for women in their second season of life who spent years caring for everyone else. Kids, partners, work, households, often at the expense of their own bodies, energy, and inner life. If you now find yourself wondering, who am I beyond all the roles? How do I live more honestly and kindly with myself in this next chapter? You're in the right place. I'm Dr. Kelley, a health and well-being specialist and mind-body expert. And here we blend grounded, nervous system science with lived wisdom so you can better support your health, emotions, and deeper self as you move into this powerful second season of life. In earlier episodes, we've talked about befriending your body, listening to your pain, and working with your intuition, intention, and imagination as your inner power trio. Today, we're adding another essential piece, how you talk to yourself. In this episode, we'll explore how your inner voice impacts your nervous system and healing, and you'll move through a simple self-compassion check-in that you can start using right away, especially on those hard days. Imagine talking the way you talk to yourself on a stressful day. The tone, the words, the expectations, and speaking to your closest friend that way. Would she stay your closest friend? Would she feel safe sharing with you? Most mid-season women are incredibly kind, patient, and compassionate with others, like their kids, partners, pets, clients, parents, even strangers. But their inner dialogue with themselves can sound more like, why can't you handle this better? Or you should be further along by now. Or why can't you figure out how to do this? It can't be that hard. Well, no one else seems to struggle with this. Or you don't have time to fall apart. Just keep going and push through. From a nervous system perspective, this matters. Your inner critic doesn't just hurt your feelings. It keeps your system in a chronic state of perceived threat, which makes it much harder for your body to rest, repair, and access the calmer, more creative states we've been talking about. Today is an invitation to become your own safe place, starting with your inner voice. Your nervous system doesn't distinguish very well between external criticism and internal criticism. It mainly registers tone, intensity, and whether you feel emotionally safe or under attack. When your inner voice is harsh, shaming, or relentlessly demanding, your body can respond with things like increased muscle tension, shallow breathing, racing thoughts, spikes in stress hormones that keep you in survival mode, or a sense of collapse or numbness if you feel like you can never measure up. On the other hand, when your inner dialogue is more compassionate, patient, and kind, even in small ways, your system is more likely to access parasympathetic states of calm and repair, process pain and discomfort with less bracing and fear, and make sustainable changes more easily because you feel supported rather than constantly judged. This doesn't mean you never hold yourself accountable. It means the tone of that accountability shifts from what's wrong with you to, wow, this is hard, and we're going to figure it out together. Self-compassion in this sense is not indulgent. It's a nervous system intervention and a powerful mid-season healing tool. In earlier episodes, you heard about my chronic low back pain and how a turning point was learning to say, thank you, pain, for getting my attention. What are you trying to show me? Instead of treating my body as the enemy. That shift from why you like this to what are you showing me changed my relationship with my body. The pain didn't disappear overnight, of course, but it stopped feeling like a betrayal and started feeling more like a messenger. You can extend that same spirit to the parts of you that feel messy, emotional, or behind in this season. Imagine speaking to yourself the way we practice speaking to your body. You can say things like, thank you, anxiety, for trying to protect me. Thank you, exhaustion, for showing me I've carried too much for too long, or that it's time for a break. And thank you, sadness, for revealing something that matters to me. You're not celebrating suffering or resigning yourself to it. You're acknowledging that every reaction has a context, and that acknowledgement alone can start to downshift your nervous system from threat to safety. So let's do a quick self-compassion check-in. If it's safe to do so, you might pause, soften your gaze, or gently close your eyes. If you're driving or moving, just listen and come back to this later. We're going to move through 3 parts: naming, softening, and supporting. Part 1. Naming what's here. Bring to mind one area of your life that currently feels hard. It could be your health or your body, a relationship, work, or caregiving, or simply the weight of trying to do it all in this season. Notice what emotions or thoughts arise and name them quietly. Like, this feels overwhelming. This feels lonely. This feels unfair. This feels exhausting. This feels never-ending. This feels really frustrating. Let your body register that truth for just a moment. And then part 2, you're going to soften your inner tone. If it feels okay, place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, or both hands on your heart or both hands on your belly, whatever's comfortable, and feel the warmth and weight of your own hands. Then you're going to try 3 phrases. You can either say these silently or out loud. The first is, of course you feel this way. There's nothing wrong with you. The second is, you're not behind. You're in a new season of your life. And number 3, you're allowed to struggle and still be worthy of kindness and care. Then notice what happens in your body. It could be a slightly deeper breath, a softening in your shoulders, maybe tears. All of that is welcome. If any phrase feels too strong, you can soften it with the word maybe, or I'm open to the idea that. So saying things like, maybe it makes sense that you feel this way, or maybe you're not behind, maybe this is just a different season, or I'm open to the idea that I'm not broken, I'm just in an adjustment period. Then next, in part 3, you're going to support yourself with one small action and gently ask, what's one small way I can support myself today? Let the first answer be enough. It could be something like, take a 10-minute walk outside, or saying no to one thing, or lying down for an actual genuine rest instead of pushing through something, or drinking water and eating something nourishing. It could be watching something silly on TV, or moving your body to some fun, uplifting music, or singing in the shower or out loud in the car. It could be sitting next to a tree or a plant and sharing a spontaneous conversation with them. It can be smiling for 5 minutes. Bonus for looking in the mirror while you're doing it. Or maybe it's just giving yourself a gentle hug, or reaching out to a trusted person. You don't need to overhaul your life. You're choosing one concrete act that matches the more compassionate inner tone you're practicing. You might close this mini practice by saying to yourself, thank you for doing your best. I'm learning to be on my own side. And take a slow in-breath and a slightly longer breath out. And then gently open your eyes when you're ready and give your body a gentle shake. Midlife often brings together a body that's carried decades of stress, caregiving, and hormonal shifts, a nervous system that's tired of running on adrenaline for far too long, and a deeper part of yourself that's asking for a truer, kinder way of living. If your inner voice stays stuck in perfectionism, self-criticism, and constant not enough, your system will keep interpreting your own mind as a threat. That makes it harder to heal physically, set and hold boundaries, and hear your intuition and true desires. When you practice self-compassion, even in small, awkward attempts, you begin to offer yourself something you may have given primarily to others, like consistent, patient, warm support. Over time, your nervous system starts to learn, I'm not going to be attacked from the inside anymore. I can begin to rest, to feel, and to change. This is what it means to become your own safe place. As we close, you might carry these next questions into your journal, a walk, or a quiet moment before bed. If I spoke to my closest friend the way I speak to myself, how would our relationship feel? And what's one phrase of self-compassion that feels believable enough to practice this week? Something like, I'm doing the best I can, or of course this feels like a lot, and we got this. And finally, where's my nervous system asking me to become kinder, not harsher, in order to truly heal and thrive? I'd love for you to scroll down and share what's one self-compassion phrase you're willing to practice this week. And when is your inner critic the loudest? Mornings, nights, at work, around your body, in relationships? Your words might be the exact permission another mid-season woman needs to start talking to herself differently. If this conversation helped you feel a little more held on the inside or gave you language for a gentler inner voice, please like, follow, or subscribe to Rooted Insights. And if it feels supportive, a positive rating or review really does help other women in this powerful second season of life find these grounded, science-informed, soul-honoring conversations. You can also share this episode with a friend who's incredibly kind to everyone else but quietly brutal with herself. Your share might be the doorway into a new kind of relationship with herself and with her life. Remember, you're not behind. You're in a new season of your life, and your nervous system and your deeper self have carried you this far. You're allowed to support them now, including through the way you speak to yourself. We're here, rooting in together, one breath, one kind sentence, one brave act of self-compassion at a time. Until next time on Rooted Insights.